Hi everyone and welcome to Lost Boy. My name is Jamie for those of you that are new to my channel, and for those of you that are returning, thank you for all of your support. This is going to be a general message for the sign of Sagittarius. This could be Sagittarius anywhere in your birth chart. Cross-watchers who are dealing with the Sagittarius, you are welcome as well. Flip the roles however you see fit, but everyone please only take what resonates with you in your particular situation and drop what does not. If anyone's interested in booking a personal reading with me, my website is down below in the description box, and there you will find various options to suit your needs. Before I get into the cards, while I'm shuffling this deck, well, I was pre-shuffling earlier and I was getting all the other decks ready. There was this energy here of somebody being upset, somebody you're holding a grudge because you no longer want to deal with them, you no longer want to deal with their toxic bullshit. Definitely somebody here who's been, I don't know, I feel like they've been trying to escape, run away from something, but I feel like they're ultimately only running away from themselves. And this is somebody here who's upset with some kind of growth that you may have had within yourself. And the fact that you're now seeing clearly, you're seeing things for exactly as they are, you're seeing people for exactly who they are. You guys could be dealing with the Capricorn, could be dealing with an Aquarius, don't have to be. But somebody here is very, very upset that you no longer want to deal with them. And somehow it's like you have been like shattering their ego in some kind of way. So just be careful with that energy. I don't think they're going to do anything because I feel like the worst is behind you. Haters are going to hate, right? Alrighty, Sag. Let's get into your reading. I'm going to start with the Storyteller's Tarot to get an overall energy for you. We'll pull out the tarot dice. We'll pull out some decks for the first spread, and then do a Celtic Cross for the second spread. And then we will pull out the Scrabble tiles, and we're going to see what comes out. Universe, please give us an overall energy for Sagittarius. What is going on in Sagittarius energy at this time? What is the overall energy for Sagittarius? You know, somebody here is holding a grudge because you're not willing to meet them where they're at anymore. And I feel like you gave this person ample time, ample space, and a lot of grace. And I feel like you even vocalized exactly what the issues were, but this person is refusing to change. And at the end of the day, we can't make people change. And sometimes the only thing we can do is change ourselves and change how we contribute to the situation. And I think that's why they're holding a grudge. Universe, what is the overall energy for Sagittarius? Wow, you have a couple of them come out. We have the 8 of Coins, the 3 of Spikes, the High Priestess. Yeah, somebody was trying to block your hard work, trying to stop you from working, trying to stop you from moving forward. I think you had a feeling here. The King of Wands and the 4 of Hearts. That's the 4 of Cups. Somebody here was wanting you to miss out on an opportunity. I definitely feel like this is somebody here who was even trying to keep up with you or trying to make you keep up with them. But I think what you saw at the end of the day is that this person doesn't really have anything to offer. This person's only surface. Because we had the Devil reversed come out when I was pre-shuffling with that 2 of Swords reversed. So it's like you see somebody for their materialistic ways and you're like, okay, do you have anything deeper to offer? And I think once you realize that this person was nothing of substance. They were only some kind of substance, because we did have a lot of escapism come out as well in the pre-shuffle. We have the King of Swords here. There is some kind of truth that you have been speaking. And I feel like you're not taking any bullshit here because you're seeing how somebody has just been trying to betray you, reject you, hurt you, make you feel outcasted. Maybe because you are some kind of truth speaker here, you have a divine connection as the High Priestess. Somebody here also wanted to make you doubt yourself, and they wanted you to... It's like they wanted you focused on what everybody else had. This could even be somebody here who likes to show off in a way. Right? Maybe this person has fancy cars, right? Maybe they have all of the things, right? The nice clothes, all of whatever, right? All materialistic here. And they wanted you to make, and they probably use that as a way to form their perception. And maybe you called this person out, and maybe that's why they're holding a grudge. Because you're like, I see right through you, right? Because sometimes the people with the nicest things, the people that wear the nicest clothes, right, or are super material, and I'm not saying this is the case for everybody, they don't really have anything else to offer. They're trying to maintain some kind of an image. I feel like you have been putting in a lot of hard work and effort at something here, at a business, at your work, just even in yourself, trying to level up. And somebody has just been trying to betray you, maybe because they feel envious at the fact that you no longer want to indulge in the same things. So somebody is taking something personal in regards to you're doing something against them. So I definitely feel like this person is not all there in the head. Maybe because of all their substances or whatever. Somebody's perception is really, really skewed about life. And something here about you, maybe you have it all figured out. Maybe you don't, but at least you know where it is that you're going. You know what it is that you want to do, and you're meticulously working towards that. And you're creating some kind of independence for yourself, because the card that comes after is the Nine of Pentacles. Maybe this person was trying to even siphon off of your hard work. They wanted to attach themselves to you, or they wanted you to be stuck with them to make it feel like you needed them, right? They wanted you to look up to them, again, because they had all the materialistic things. But something here about some kind of truth that you've spoken, maybe truth that was given to you by the divine. Because the King of Swords is somebody here who speaks the truth. This could also be somebody here on the outside that has been seeing what has been going on. I definitely feel like there's been some kind of theft or some kind of robbery here with the Three of Swords. Because look, he has one of those swords right in his hands, and he's leaving those other two there. So it's like somebody here is secretly taking from you, and maybe they thought that you would never catch on, or maybe they thought that you didn't know. And something here about you had already given this person a lot of grace and a lot of time in order for them to come to their own, right? You were hoping that they would see the error of their ways. But after a while, you recognize the pattern and realize, wow, this person is never going to change. They're never going to evolve. And what did I ever see in this individual in the first place? And this person could be a friend, a family member, a lover, ex-lover, a business partner, a colleague. Take this however it resonates for you, but I feel like you spoke some kind of truth out, or your ability to call things out, to see things for what they are, really intimidates this person. Because they didn't want to get caught by everyone else. So that's why maybe they could even been trying to betray you by trying to keep you silent, but your truth is going to end up being victorious in the end. Something here, you're not working alone though. I think this person underestimated you, and they underestimated your connection to the divine, your connection to source. They essentially wanted you to give up your hopes and dreams in a way that, in order for you to take care of them. They never wanted you to progress. They wanted you to always maybe even make you feel like whatever you were working towards was pointless. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they were doing things in order to stall you. But I feel like it only empowered you. It only made you wiser as this King of Swords. And it made you sharper. Somebody here could even be saying that you're cold, or that you're unemotional at this time, but the truth is you're full of emotion. You just don't have time for people who are going to betray you, who are going to rob from you, who are going to steal from you, who are going to essentially block you and stop you from following your heart because it doesn't match up with what they want. Definitely somebody who is extremely unsupportive and somebody who's only looking out for themselves. We're going to use a tarot dice. We're going to see what else comes out. It's going to get a little loud, so I do apologize. Universe, tell us more for Sagittarius. What is going on in Sagittarius' energy that they need to be aware of at this time? The Devil reverse came out again. The Emperor reversed. Wow. The Seven of Wands, but I flipped over to the King of Swords. There you are. And we have the Four of Swords sideways. Yeah, so you have a bully, you have a tyrant here. Somebody here that you probably don't want to deal with anymore because they don't care about anybody else. This is somebody here who's only self-serving. They don't think about anybody else. And this is a master manipulator. A master manipulator. Because to me, the Emperor and the Empress are master magicians. Right? They're the king and queens of the king and queens. They have mastered all of the individual suits. Much like the magician who acquires all of the aces, they have mastered all of the suits. That's why they got to the position that they're at. So this is somebody here who has built a life being a manipulator. Somebody here who is extremely toxic. Somebody here is extremely fearful at the fact that you're no longer afraid. Maybe this person was trying to intimidate you, trying to suppress you, maybe with their presence. Maybe this is somebody here who made you feel like you needed their attention, you needed their validation, you needed their approval. But at the end of the day, you don't work for them, you work for yourself. You work with Source, you work with God, you walk in faith. Somebody here wanted you bound, entrapped, to be available at their beck and call whenever they needed something. And I feel like they don't only do this to you, they do this to everybody else. We have the Knight of Cups sideways, wow, and the Hierophant in reverse. This could definitely be somebody here who's a father, or a father figure, or somebody here who wants to be seen as somebody here who gives life, but they're not a good provider. This is somebody here who doesn't provide, they want to be provided for. They don't do what's right for their own people, is really what I'm saying. We also have the Seven of Pentacles here sideways. Somebody is realizing that their plans have failed. Whatever it is that they were trying to do. Now they're feeling extremely guilty here with this Nine of Swords. Again, strong Capricorn, Aries, even Leo energy here. Could be a Libra as well with the King of Swords, or you could have those aspects in your chart somewhere. But there is some kind of victory here, because it's like, it feels like you defeated the devil. You defeated some kind of demon. You defeated somebody who was a prisoner to their own self. And maybe this is what this person does in order to make themselves feel better, is by feeling like other people are beneath them, to have other people give them things, right? Somebody here could even be, especially with that Four of Swords sideways and this King of Swords sideways, it's like they wanted attention and they wanted validation. They wanted their ego stroked. And maybe something about you caring or you still doing things for this person was able to stroke their ego in some kind of way. But I feel like you're on guard here. It's kind of like fencing, on guard, right? Wait, you're standing up for yourself. And this person could have even gathered people to help them go against you in some kind of way by creating some kind of false lie or some kind of projection or some kind of victim blaming. But again, that's a part of their manipulation tactic. Because it's interesting, people will always tell you, people will always, they'll make a big scene when they don't get their way, but they never tell people what it is that they did in order to push people that far, right? So I feel like whoever they teamed up with to go against you, birds of a feather flock together. I feel like those are people that are also still trapped under their own illusion, right? They didn't ask, why did that person stop talking to you? What did you do in order to make them cut you off? In order for them to not deal with you anymore, essentially. And that's because they used their emotions with the Knight of Cups sideways. They play to emotions. They play to somebody's emotions. And that's why they were able to gather this group, this flock, to come against you. But you're being able to stand on your own. And it's like you're refusing to take things laying down. You're refusing to take it sideways. We have the Queen of Cups here. Your heart is going to prevail. At the end of the day, your true intentions are being seen because you didn't give up. You didn't fold underneath the pressure. You're being very, very courageous at this time, and I feel like you're definitely getting ready to step back out. Three of Pentacles reversed. Wow, we also have the Tower reversed and the Fool. Somebody was trying to have you go through some kind of loss, but I feel like once you decided to no longer play their game, once you cut them off, they're the ones that are going to go through this loss. And that's what's so shocking right now. Because I feel like everybody who even teamed up to go against you, they're going to see this demise. And maybe it's because you already called this out. I feel like you did. You spoke something to truth. Maybe you prophesied something. And maybe that was part of the projection that they use. And they're like, oh, Sagittarius is just crazy. See, I told you they're crazy. They need to be locked up or whatever, right? But whatever you said, it's coming to fruition. It's coming to fruition. Because God put that on your heart for a reason. And you realize, you know what, this person is just battling with themselves. And at the end of the day, they will be their own demise. Strong Scorpio energy here. We have the Six of Cups. This is somebody here who is stressed in the past. This could even be somebody here who has been holding a grudge for something that happened in the past, something that they're blaming you for, something that they're unwilling to deal with. And again, something here that you called out a long time ago is now coming to fruition. You were right the whole time. Somebody just wanted to betray you, and they wanted to take from your hard work, from your efforts. They wanted the fruits of your labor. They didn't want to put in any work. And they do this with everybody. Because now that this truth is coming out, I feel like everybody is seeing their manipulation for what it is. They're seeing them clear as day for who they are. And now they're like, wow, Sagittarius was 100% right. And now they're putting the pieces together and realizing, oh my God, I was just another tool that they used. Six of Wands, there's that victory. Page of Swords reversed and the Two of Wands. Somebody was trying to create some kind of delays by keeping people confused about the truth. They didn't want people to see the truth. But it's gonna come crashing down. That's what's so shocking about this. Something unexpected is happening. And you called this out. Somebody's also been trying to keep something hidden, and I feel like you're the one that revealed something. There's going to be a brand new beginning here. Brand new beginning. A brand new cycle. The time is now for something to happen. Because I feel like you finally chose yourself completely, and it was the moment that you said enough is enough. When you finally severed the last cord, the last attachment. Maybe for some of you, part of this was, maybe you even still talk to them a little bit, right? Because you're like, you know what? Maybe because they're still in your environment somehow, right? If this is a friend or a family member or even an ex-lover, like maybe you share friends, right? Or if this is a colleague, someone that you used to work with, right? You still have to associate with them in some kind of way. So you were just trying to keep things kind of like an acquaintance, like you were trying to keep things amicable, right? But I think even then, even that was too much for this one person. Because it's like the energy of like you give somebody an inch, they'll take a mile, and they're just going to run with it. But that is over. You followed your intuition bravely, even though you may have been afraid. But at the end of the day, your heart, your truth, your intentions, your goodwill is being seen. You're being seen as someone very nurturing, somebody very kind, and somebody here who went above and beyond. But somebody just continued to abuse you over and over and over and over and over again. And maybe you have been praying and asking for, when is this going to stop? When is this going to end? When is this person going to finally... Not that you were wishing for karma, but it's like, when were they going to finally learn their lesson? For their own good, looking at the bigger picture, right? Karma teaches us lessons. We learn from our mistakes, or at least we should. I don't think this person has. Because somebody here has been doing something for a very, very long time, and they've been able to get away with it. And this has to do with their perception. It has to do with the way that they see the world. And I feel like the reason why they see the world the way that they do is because it's skewed due to some kind of substance or something here that they've been abusing, or something here that they've been trying to escape, because they're running from themselves. They're running from themselves. And this is somebody here who does not like dealing with people who are sure of themselves, because the people who are true and authentic, they can also spot true and authentic. And something here about, like, you just don't vibe with somebody trying to be someone that they're not. And this person can't stand that about you. I just heard, like, why can't they be normal? What is normal? Define that for me, because society does a good job at trying to define what normal is, right? But they try to dictate what kind of clothes we wear and who can wear what, or what everyone should be doing by what time in their life. You know what I mean? I feel like you were the underdog in some kind of way, and somebody just looked at you as if they were above you and that they could just use you. I don't think they counted on this latest move. And once you finally severed that final cord and really, really fully detached, you're not even giving them a word, not even a hello, not even a glance. That let the universe and divine know, all right, good. Sagittarius is finally out of the way. They've learned the lesson. Because I feel like maybe at one point you still held a little bit of sympathy and empathy for this person. Because you know what it's like to be there, to be down. But it comes to a point where, at the end of the day, people need to take responsibility and accountability for their own self. Because you have. And there's only so much help you can give somebody if they're not willing to accept it. This is somebody here who... It's like they use something as an excuse. They've overused something as an excuse, right? Like, maybe they're struggling with health issues or mental health. And even, like, I'm not trying to take anything away from somebody, but you can only do so much for a person if they're unwilling to do something for themselves. They need to take those first steps to get help. And I feel like maybe they were even relying on you for finances and resources, again, to indulge in some kind of escapism. And you're like, that's not helping anybody. At this rate, you're never going to change. And it's also the energy of somebody just wanted a handout. So it's like they were asking from you to your face and stealing from you behind your back. And they do this to everybody. Maybe that's how they keep up their lifestyle, with that materialistic. That's how they keep up their lifestyle, is by getting small handouts from several individuals. But you cut them off, and I feel like slowly everybody else is cutting them off. And there is going to be some kind of revelation here with this tower. This is like a twofold revelation. It's like your uprising is their downfall. Your victory, your success, your recognition is their downfall. Because once people start seeing you for who you are, like fully, completely, and maybe once all of these other people know that you don't even glance at this person anymore, they're realizing you were never the problem in the first place, because this person still is the same way. Now that you're out of the picture, it's like, well, it's not Sagittarius, because Sagittarius isn't here anymore. So What really is their deal? Maybe Sagittarius was right all along. Universe, tell us more, please. Universe, tell us more, please. Wow, it's 10:10 right now. 10:10 p.m. There's definitely a major cycle here that is getting ready to close out. Endings and new beginnings. There's a mature woman here involved. And we have a child here at the bottom of the deck. And we have family room. This could definitely be somebody here that was close to you. Maybe someone here that you've known since you were a child. Or this could even be somebody here who's even been trying to weaponize a child against you. Somebody here definitely does not like your maturity. They don't like the fact that you're nurturing yourself. Whoever you are, Sagittarius, male or female, you're definitely tapping into your feminine energy at this time because you're giving yourself the love. You're loving on yourself because you're realizing that whoever's been around you, they haven't been giving that to you. They haven't been kind. They haven't been nurturing. We have courthouse here at the bottom of the deck. Somebody here could be getting even wrapped up in legal issues here. Maybe they were trying to blame you for the reason why they acted the way that they did. This could even be like, it could be a physical courthouse, or it can even be like spiritual. Like, this is somebody who was saying, oh, Sagittarius got in my head, that's why I acted the way that I did. But at the end of the day, again, people should be responsible and accountable for their own actions. And this person hasn't. And if it's not in physical court, or something you're to do with the law enforcement, this is going to have to do with spiritual court. This person could be crying out to God like, look at what collective made me do. Collective did not make a collective. I'm so sorry. Sagittarius. I just did a collective reading right before this, so I do apologize. But it's like, they're saying, God, look at what Sagittarius made me do. And the universe and God are trying to show this person, like, they didn't make you do anything. You chose to do what it is that you did, and now you want me to come save you? Somebody's calls for help, the plea for help is going unanswered. We have Journey, that came out in the reverse, and Poverty. And Wealthy Man in the reverse. And that was the one that landed on the ground. This is definitely somebody here that was karmically connected with you as a soulmate. Again, family, friend, lover, business partner. Some soulmates are only in our life for a season to teach us a lesson. And sometimes we'll keep repeating that lesson until we get it. Somebody here's notoriety is finally going down. Somebody here has been trying to present themselves as wealthy. Trying to make it seem like, you know, they were on the right path. But this is somebody here who's going nowhere. They're going nowhere. They're going downhill fast. This wealthy man in the reverse fell right down. Somebody here is going down. This is poverty. Somebody is trying to blame everybody else for their own poverty. Wow, this 37 breaks down to a 10. 10-10. 10-10 here twice. Actually, 3 times. This 13 breaks down to a 4. 4 and 6 are 10. There's major endings that are happening here. Maybe you even call this out. You're like, somebody here has been living above their means. And you're like, how is this person even able to afford all of these things? Well, it's because of all the lies that they have been saying. It's because of all of the all of the sympathy that they have been gathering from others. You know, the devil, to me, is a crybaby. This could be somebody here who has daddy issues or mommy issues. Somebody here that's... this definitely feels like this somebody here who is older. And they haven't really worked through their own trauma. And they're trying to make that everybody else's problem. You know, I feel like this is the type of person who feels like nobody else suffers and they're the only one that does. And this, again, going back to that grudge holder. Maybe because you've healed yourself from your own trauma. This is somebody here who has been refusing to do the work, but instead they've just been abusing whatever they have been abusing to try and escape. And you're like, I no longer want to play this game because you're just leading me down the wrong path, and I'm not going down with you. Somebody is, whatever they've accumulated, whatever they've stole, because essentially at the end of the day, when you keep abusing something, when you keep abusing some kind of trauma, even abusing your own trauma, right, in order to garnish sympathy, in order to garnish support, in order to be provided for, right? Somebody who is extremely codependent, that's still stealing at the end of the day. We have renewal and victim. You're nobody's victim. As a matter of fact, you survived this. And maybe you're wondering, why are my blessings not coming in? I keep putting in all this work. Where is my independence? Where is my freedom? Where, you know, and you haven't been able to stand on your own because somebody here was not only robbing from you physically, but by them munching on your energy, it wasn't allowing your blessings to come in. They were essentially blocking your blessings here by making you question yourself, by making you work harder, because they were trying to use your own morals, maybe your faith, against you. Oh, but you believe in Jesus. What would Jesus would not let somebody, you know, walk all over them. Right? There is such a thing as tough love. Universe, tell us more. We have grief and destiny. Something is playing out just as it how it should. Something here has been written a long time ago. This is playing out. Somebody are stuck in a state of grief, and that's why they're going downhill. Again, with this soulmate card. You decided to take a quest. You decided to go down a path. You decided to elevate. You decided to follow your calling. And maybe this is somebody here who's highly envious because they don't know themselves, because they're not willing to heal themselves. They're running from themselves. Universe, give us one more, please. Okay. We got 3 more. We have perseverance, wisdom, and discovery. You have persevered, even through some kind of roadblock. This is somebody who was actively trying to stop you from moving forward. They didn't want you to reach the next level, but you pushed through anyway. You acquired some kind of wisdom here because you discovered a deeper divinity within you. You discovered your heart's true calling. You're following your heart. You're following your passion. You're following the wisdom that has been given to you from the trials that you have been through in the past. See, wisdom and knowledge are 2 different things, right? You can go to school and learn as much as you want to learn, right? But wisdom is knowing how to apply that knowledge by having the experience. You gain that through experience. And maybe you were even trying to share your experience to try and help this person, and they were taking it as a place that you were coming for them, that you were judging them. Instead of taking it as, you know what, maybe Sagittarius was actually trying to help me all along. But again, because they were all up in their feelings, because their mind is all skewed due to their own trauma and their own escapism. I'm sorry, I'm sticking to that. Somebody here is addicted to something, whether it's gambling, drugs, alcohol, all of the above. Keeping up with an appearance. This is somebody here who has never really had to deal with loss because they've overused something here to make others feel bad. So that way others can be like, oh, well, this person can't lose another thing. It's going to break them. And it's like, why are you crying? Like, I really feel like this is somebody here who's middle-aged, and it's like, why are you crying over something that happened when you were 7? Like, you're still using that same story. You're still using that same bullshit. You're still using that all this time later. It's like somebody here has refused to learn. No, so instead they gossip about other people who have, other people who are doing better. Because they don't care, they're still being taken care of, they still have their fancy car, they still have the nice clothes on. They have nothing in their pocket though. They have nothing in their pocket. Wow. Grudge holder. I just split the deck. This is somebody here who's played out. That was the one that fell out in the pre-shuffle. This person is played out. It's the same old story. It's the same old cycle. That's why God in the universe is like, you know what? This needs to end. Like, God is even tired of hearing about it. The universe is like, all right, we get it. We get it. You're sad, but what are you going to do about it? Because sometimes you got to take responsibility for your own self. We're all responsible for ourselves at the end of the day and for our own happiness. Our happiness does not come outside of us. It comes from within us. I feel like this is somebody here who doesn't know themselves because they're too afraid to confront themselves. Somebody here has definitely been living a lie. And maybe you don't have to. This is somebody here who marries for money and you're unbothered. Right, this could even be somebody here who's like trying to throw in the fact that they're in a relationship. Oh yeah, see? You see my wife, you see my kids, you see all of this, and it's like, yeah, but you're only with them because of what they give you, of how they take care of you. And you're like, why would I want something like that? If you are single. You're unfazed and unbothered. This person's not able to get under your skin anymore, and I feel like that's part of them holding a grudge, is that they can't get under your skin anymore in order to manipulate you, in order to work you. I don't even feel like this person's even suffering from what they're saying that they're suffering from. I just think that they know that they've been able to play this for so long that this is all what they know how to do. That's why they're played out. It's the only trick this dog has. You know, they only know how to play dead. Universe. Tell us more for Sagittarius, please. Tell us more for Sagittarius. They don't want you to know what the T is. Universe, tell us more for Sagittarius, please. So you're focused on your hustle. Maybe some of y'all are trying to be entrepreneurs. You're trying to step outside of the box, trying to make a name for yourself. You're trying to follow your passion here. And somebody's highly intimidated by that. We have moving and dodging bullets. You guys could even be potentially moving soon. Maybe you're even maybe some of y'all have even started a side hustle here so you can save up extra money so you can officially leave and exit this situation. Or trying to set yourself up so you don't even have to be around this individual anymore. Instead of trying to dodge them, but either way, you're blocking negativity. Escaping crazy people. Crazy people. Somebody who could literally have mental health issues. And I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody, but at the end of the day, you can't save everybody if they're unwilling to save themselves. That's just a harsh truth in the reality. Because if not, you're going to end up killing yourself, literally, just trying to save somebody who doesn't want to be saved. And you're going to end up being caught in their own downward spiral. Universe, tell us more for Sagittarius. Scarcity tactics. Yeah, see? This is somebody who uses scarcity tactics. You know, they try to put you up against a wall, trying to keep you in a corner. Right? And it's like, well, if you don't give me what I want, then... It's like they put all this pressure on you. They try to make it seem like you're not worth it, you're not able to do it, and that you need their help. I don't think that you do. You made it this far all on your own. Universe, tell us more. Universe, tell us more for Sagittarius, please. What's going on in their energy? Somebody here who's hooked. They're hooked. This could even be somebody here who's been trying to keep you stuck in a love triangle. Somebody here who wants to have multiple lovers. They want to have choices. They're trying to keep you as an option. And you're like, I am nobody's option. I'm not an option. You're the real thing. Somebody here wanted to have their cake and eat it too? This could even be somebody here who was trying to keep you in a relationship that was toxic and unhealthy for you, non-committal. Maybe only a situation here that would only serve themselves. This could even be somebody here who even has a sex addiction. They're clout hungry. They want attention. They're very dramatic. They say anything. They do anything. Make shit up. Extremely... Somebody here who's stalking you. They're watching you. They're obsessed. But don't worry. You're dodging bullets. And you're going to be able to move away from this. Somebody wants attention. They use scarcity tactics just to get it. They'll create false emergencies. And then they spread gossip and talk shit about you anyway. So, I mean... This is somebody here who cannot handle no, and that's why they're holding a grudge. Because they can control everybody else but you. And you're like, I'm not playing that game, buddy. Somebody here is even trying to dig for dirt. That's maybe why they're stalking you. They could be trying to look you up. Trying to find out some kind of information on you because they're a broke ass. You're being asked to dust it off, and maybe you did. You were like, to the left, to the left. And they're still holding a grudge. Look at them, just plain miserable. They're just plain miserable. Somebody here could even be lighting candles and trying to do work on you. That's not working. You're highly protected. They're definitely looking you up and researching you, trying to get info, trying to see how they can stop you next, right? What other lie can they come up with that they can concoct? You know, this person is very, very creative when it comes to trying to take other people down. If they just even put that little ounce into doing something for themselves, they'd actually be able to make something for themselves. Just keeping it real. Can you imagine how much effort it takes to just go against little old you, and how many people they have to pile on to go up against you? And here you are like, I'm still standing. Is somebody here who hates your spirituality. They hate your light, they hate your magic, they hate your power. An obsessive lover. Dangerously toxic, unhealthy, possessive, and a karmic. And again, this could be family, friend, lover. Either way, they're very, very highly obsessive with getting attention, with getting emotion, right? They think that what you give them is a sign of love. But love is not about physical things. It's not. I'm only clearing this one out because I'm running out of room. I do want to see what lies beneath, though. Doing drugs? And you're sexually protected. This could even be somebody here who is even trying to send somebody who has, like, an STD to try to infect you, to try and, like, knock you down a peg, but that didn't work either. Universe. Tell us more. What lies beneath that we need to know about for Sagittarius? This is definitely somebody here who's focused on the physical with this sex shop. Somebody here could even be paying people for money. I mean, for, you know that. Somebody here is extremely outdated. They're trash. They're being thrown away. Somebody here who even gets private rooms for pleasure. Hotel, motel, business suit, pleasure. They're at the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Something about a Holiday Inn, maybe? They're definitely trying to keep something secret, keep something hidden. They act like you don't know. You can read it all over their face. Somebody is just willy-nilly, just throwing their willy wherever it would stick, right? In whatever hole is available. Male or female, right? And if it's a female, metaphorically. Somebody is putting on a show. They're acting like they're tired of drama, but they're extremely toxic. They thrive off of drama. They're the ones putting on a show. They're the ones that are scripting it. They know exactly what it is that they're doing. This person's not stupid. They're not. I don't really think this person's traumatized. I really don't. I really, really don't. I think that they're just playing something so that way they can still do whatever they want. They want their cake and they want to eat it too. They don't want to have to take responsibility and accountability for themselves in their life. They want to be taken care for. They want to be pleasured. This is sick and really gross. I'm glad you cut this off. Universe, tell us more. They put on a good show, though. This is somebody who can't keep somebody. Expecting a new beginning. Don't. Because something here has been outdated. Somebody here who is trying to keep you a secret. Be very, very cautious. Because they could be wanting to make trying to circle back around. Be very, very careful. This is somebody here who... This person could even be married, like I said in the beginning, and they wanted to keep you as their mistress. But yet, all the meanwhile, telling you all the beautiful, sweet things like, oh yeah, we can be, somebody here who... They lie to get what they want. They tell people what they want to hear. And none of this even has to be... You don't even have to deal with this person sexually. Maybe you even call them out for this person being a hoe. Right? And somebody's like, yo, that's why maybe they're holding a grudge, because they didn't want their partner to find out what they were up to. They didn't want you to teach them because you're healed, because you can see through the bullshit. They didn't want you to help other people see through their bullshit too. But something here about your testimony is opening up eyes. That's how you're standing your ground, because you're standing in the truth. And the truth will always prevail. The truth will always prevail. It may take time, it may take years, sometimes even decades, but the truth will always prevail. The truth will always come to light. Always. Because I feel like it came to a point where you're like, you know what? This person obviously doesn't want to be saved. So you know what? I'm going to save everybody around them. And you're just naturally doing that by speaking the truth about your own experiences. And maybe that's why they're holding a grudge. Because they're like, how dare Sagittarius speak their truth? It's your truth. Continue to speak it, Sagittarius. This person can go kick rocks. I feel like you're really dealing with a stubborn, pig-headed individual here that likes to rile you up, because I'm getting a little frustrated here. I don't know how you haven't slapped the shit out of this person. I really don't. It's taken a lot of restraint on your end, I feel like. Somebody here. Total drama. Be careful. It's time to watch shit go down. What happens when the gossip flips? What happens when the gossip turns? It's time for you to grab your popcorn. Because I feel like you're going to be sitting there munching on your popcorn while everyone else is gossiping about this person. And I feel like they're going to be gossiping to you, and you're going to be like, well, I mean, I told you, you didn't want to believe me. Fake friends. There's somebody here who is smiling in your face, laughing behind your back. I hope they enjoyed that time, because it's over. It is over. Alrighty, I am gonna clean this up. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, and then we're gonna get right into your Celtic Cross. Somebody here was also kind of hoping that you would put something in the wrong spot, or that you wouldn't see where you put something, or that you wouldn't remember. But I feel like you are. You're going to correct something really quickly. Alrighty, Sag. I will be right back. Hi, Sagittarius. I'm back. We're going to get into your Celtic Cross now and see what it is that you need to know. We have the Star and the Nine of Pentacles. That independence, it's closer than you think. Universe needed to see clearly that you felt like you deserved it, and that you weren't going to take anything from anyone. Six of Swords, that you were going to choose peace. That you were going to move on and choose peace and leave behind somebody here who was willing to win at all costs. Let them have their little victory, because it's going to be short-lived. It usually is. Because what happens when somebody here wants to win at all costs, and now you're out of the picture, you're no longer the scapegoat. And now other people are like, okay, now I understand why Sagittarius left. And they're slowly going to lose their allies. Because who else are they going to blame? Universe, help us put these cards in order for a Celtic Cross, please, for Sagittarius. The Ten of Swords reversed. Somebody is clinging to the old ways of life. They're unwilling to evolve. They're unwilling to change. Page of Pentacles. There's a beautiful offer here that is coming in for you. Queen of Pentacles reversed. That's interesting, because Virgo got the same thing. The World reversed. The Sun reversed. King of Wands reversed. The Seven of Swords. Five of Swords. The Nine of Swords. The Wheel of Fortune. And the Page of Swords. You have the Page of Pentacles and the Death card right here. And the Seven of Cups. You're no longer confused about something or someone. A decision here has been made. You made a choice here because you're like, you know what? You know what? The reason why I have been ungrounded, unstable here is because somebody here was taking too much from you. You needed to make a choice, a permanent choice, to no longer deal with that individual, to no longer deal with something. And what's crowning you here is that you know that something here is incomplete. It's not over. This has to do with someone's lies and deception. Somebody here is very, very fiery, very, very angry. You've had to learn how to control your emotions throughout this process here. And what's driving this whole reading is the fact that, you know what? I'm not happy in this situation. I don't feel free. I'm not happy where I'm at. I'm not happy dealing with something. You know, I'm not happy settling. That's why this World card is in your head, because you're like, you know what? My life isn't over. What I want to do, my dreams, my hopes, my aspirations, They're not over. It's like God in the universe placed something in your heart and in your soul. And I feel like you've been encountering all of this resistance of people just wanting to rob, steal, take, deceive you. But they're falling for their own trap here. This is somebody here who was supposed to be in your camp, right? Family, friend, lover, business. Because the Five of Wands talks about the troops, right? If it's, yeah, just to use that as an example, like, because the military needs to practice drills, right? In order to sharpen their skills, right? Same thing with a sports team, right? They practice amongst themselves in order to sharpen their own skills. This is somebody who's forgetting that they're supposed to be on the same team. So they're just trying to outshine you, and they just want to take from you because maybe they don't like the fact that you outshine them in some kind of area, and maybe they're envious of that. But everybody has their own skills. Everybody brings something unique to the table, right? That's why even in sports teams, there are always all these different positions. All right, I'm going to use baseball for an example. There's a pitcher. There's a catcher. There's somebody who guards the bases. There are people in the outfields or the infields or whatever the fields are called. Me and sports references are probably not the best. But everybody has their own role to play. And this is somebody here who doesn't want to play their role. They want your role because they see your role as being more important. But at the end of the day, everyone here is needed. And somebody here is not looking for the reason why they're needed. And now somebody here is feeling guilty because of some kind of deception, and they're planning on doing it again. External to you, this is on the outside of you. Somebody here is having nightmares about something here that they did, and it's creeping back up. It's creeping back up. It's in the near future. You know that this is not over. With this Page of Swords in the reverse, this is somebody here who's even been trying to weaponize information against you. And I feel like you're going to be getting news about this, and be very, very careful that you don't overreact and that you don't... I feel like the universe is saying, do not show any emotion when this comes, even though I feel like you're going to be really, really extremely angry and pissed off. But you're hoping for the wheel to turn in your favor, and I feel like it is, because an opportunity is coming for you because you decided to not quit. You knew that something was for you, and somebody was trying to make you feel like you were not worthy and deserving of it. But the truth is that you were all along. This person was trying to bring out the worst in you to try and rob you from your spot. Victory is yours with this Six of Wands. Universe, help us clarify this reading. Ace of Cups in the reverse. That just came flying out with the sun reversed in the Tower. Wow, and that sun just turned itself around. Somebody here was trying to take your love away from you. They didn't want you to be happy. They didn't want you to fill your own cup. But the tide is turning. You will be free. You will be free. Somebody here was even trying to use your own innocence against you, trying to claim that you are naive. You're not naive. You're not naive. You're just kind. And people mistake kind people for stupid people. But again, going back to that wisdom, this experience, you've gained a lot of wisdom out of it. And it was meant to teach you something, to further empower you for where you're going next. Because with every new level, there are new devils. Universe, help us put this in order to help clarify this for Sag, please. Ten of Cups reversed, the Four of Swords, the Nine of Cups, the Ten of Swords, the Queen of Wands reversed. Somebody could have even been using their own... Wow. So, the very person that you were trying to save, right? Like, maybe you were trying to warn their spouse that this person was a big-ass cheater, because they cheat everybody. They cheat their friends. They cheat their family. They cheat their workers. They cheat the people that they work with. Maybe you were like, yo, they're going to do it to you, too. And this person was like, oh, you're trying to take something away from me. This is definitely somebody here who's trauma bonded to somebody else. See, you're choosing peace by moving on. Five of Pentacles and the Sun. You're nobody's victim here, and you're no longer allowing the blind to lead you. You're like, why am I going to continue to listen to this person's advice or this person try to tell me what they think is best for me when they don't even know what's best for them? They don't even know how to take care of their own selves. And the choice and the decision that you made was to lay something here to rest. Somebody here wanted to make you feel like you were not worthy of love, that you were not deserving of something, that something here wouldn't fulfill you. That's what it is. But at the end of the day, what's not over is your happiness, your wish fulfillment. That's what's not over. You refuse to give up. That's in your headspace right now. You're like, I'll be damned if I allow this person to stop me from pursuing my happiness any longer. I will be damned. It's like you are, you know, male or female, but it's like that quote, like you are a man or a woman on a mission. And you are on a divine mission, whatever that is for you. Whatever that is for you. Whatever it is that you were meant to do in this world, it was something here that Source, the universe, has placed in your soul. It is in your genetic coding. It is who you are. Somebody here wants attention. They want to be seen. They're willing to get attention at all costs. This is even somebody here who will even use their body, use their looks to try and get their way. Very materialistic. Very strong Leo energy here. But this is what they want. They wanted you to feel like your happiness wasn't around the corner, that you would never get it. But it's right there. It's right there. And there's going to be a shocking surprise. This person who was wanting to win at all costs, well, guess what? Nothing in life comes with a sacrifice. And the divine is not going to continue to allow that to keep happening. Two of Cups reversed. This is somebody that doesn't even honor their own relationships. They do not view people equally. They don't respect people equally. They're non-committal in any kind of way. There's no loyalty. This required you to have your own ego death in a good way. And that was you just making the choice to say, you know what? I'm putting this to rest. Enough is enough. You're done being in your head because of somebody else's own bullshit. You're not allowing somebody else's bullshit to weigh you down. It's not your problem. It never was. And look, this competition that they placed you in, that they forced you into, it's only going to bring you balance. This balance is definitely going to be restored. This is justice on your side. For everything that they have done to you because you decided to walk away, to leave something behind, to let them think that they won. You're like, you know what? You can keep this little thing. You want that attention? You want that title? Like maybe this is somebody who was trying to take your job, or somebody here that wanted people to see them how people see you. And you're like, you know what? Here, have them. I don't care. And they think that they won because they got that little piece here. But that's all they're ever going to get. That's all that they're able to get. They're only able to get little crumbs. And maybe that's why you haven't been able to even receive anything. Because the universe is like, hold on. Sag is not ready to receive what I want to give them yet because of this one individual or individuals. The truth is definitely going to be setting you free. Whoever this person is that's extremely guilty, it definitely could be a Scorpio here with this death card in the reverse. This is somebody here that's not able to handle change because they themselves do not know how to change. Somebody here very, very dead set, stuck in their ways. You know, times are different now than what they were then. People can't get away with things like they used to. There's a lot more surveillance out in the world. People are a lot more vigilant. And there's also a lot more people in the world. People are more wiser and smarter than what they were before. Universe, tell me more about this Page of Swords in the reverse. For Sagittarius, please, tell me more about this Page of Swords in the reverse. The World. A cycle here is finally coming to an end. About this person trying to stop you from moving on. They're headed for a loss. This ending leads to a loss. We have the Hermit here, the Five of Swords, in the Tower. You know the truth. You know thyself. You've called this out. Your light is shining brighter than ever. Somebody here thought that they were going to get something, but they're not. That's what they're fearful of. They know something's coming back to bite them in the ass. Three of Swords reversed. Ha. This is what it is. Now that they got themselves into some deep doo-doo, some deep shit, now you're nowhere there to come help them, to come rescue them, to come help save them, because now you're standing on your own. Look at this. Injustice. With the Justice in the reverse. This is all about what they've done in the past is now finally coming back up to haunt them. And I had to do with a choice to not let something go. To not let something go. And here you are, bravely moving ahead with that wand in your hand, like I am following my passion bravely, ferociously, courageously. Somebody was trying to weaponize something against you to say, oh, you were just leaving them behind, or that you don't care about them. Four of Wands in the reverse. And you're like, whatever. Whoever the hell you thought you were in my life, obviously you're not. Because they never valued you in the first place. So why are you going to keep somebody around who doesn't value you? Queen of Swords in the reverse. A manipulator of truth. Somebody here trying to keep people confused with their own debauchery. But there is a brand new cycle that is getting ready here because you've decided to take a leap of faith, and that was choosing you. And I feel like you were dealing with an individual or individuals here that wanted you to put them above you, to put them first. And you're like, no, not gonna happen. Five of Wands reversed. And the Ten of Pentacles. They're not getting what they thought they were going to get. And there's that Queen of Swords reversed again. Somebody is realizing that they only ended up betraying themselves because at the end of the day, with what's coming out, with what's being revealed that they've done in the past, all this lying, all this deceiving, all this conniving here, it's coming back to haunt them. And you called this out. The divine timing is now. It was when you made the choice to say, you know what, I don't no longer even hold sympathy in my heart for you. Because I feel like you're seeing things at a greater from a greater angle. Because I feel like you're realizing, like, you know what, even though they were kind of doing this to me, you're realizing that they weren't really doing it to me. They do this to everybody. And it was never really about you. It was all really about them. That was the switch in your ego. Because yeah, even though they were attacking you personally, it was never really about you. It was really about how they really felt about themselves. You're gaining a golden opportunity here because you're no longer confused by somebody's lies about them trying to trick you out of something, so you let it go. You let it go, you gave it to God, and that's why you're getting that justice, that balance here. They were trying to cover up something that they did. I feel like this has to do something a long time ago. Even with that Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, somebody could have even been trying to rob you of an inheritance, or they were trying to confiscate something that was always meant for you. It's like they didn't want you to have this, whatever this was. So maybe part of this was trying to make you look crazy so that nobody would believe you, so that people would take things away from you or feel like, you know what, Sagittarius doesn't deserve this because, you know, it's true what this person said. They can't handle it. But the truth is, you always could. Alrighty, Sag, we're going to use the Scrabble tiles. This is going to get loud for a hot minute, so I do apologize. You can take this as confirmation or as additional messages. So, universe, any final messages and confirmations here for Sagittarius, please? Any final messages and confirmations for Sagittarius? We have the number 15, the number 49, the number 53. Something here about the 49ers. I think that's a football team. I'm not sure. We have the number 93. This could be somebody's birthday. This could be somebody the year they were born. Take those numbers however they resonate for you. Someone's name could be Peter or Pete. We have the number 58. We have the number 71. Someone's name could be Ari. That could be their nickname. Something here about a bat. Maybe somebody here does things at night. Maybe somebody here is a night owl. Or they did something in the dark. We have number 32. Or somebody here could be like an energy vampire of sorts. Feeding off a host. Maybe you were their host. Something here about the DMV. Department of Motor Vehicles. Or the RMV, wherever you're from. I know here in my state it's the DMV. Somebody could say A a lot, like A guy. Maybe somebody here's Canadian. Someone's name could be Don. Someone's name could be Donald. Someone's name could be Whitmore. Something here about Bay. Maybe someone's nickname could be Bay. Or somebody here can call people like my Bay. My Boo. Someone's name could be Wilton. Someone's name could be Milton. Someone's name could be Josh, Joshua. Someone's name could be Rebecca. Someone's name could be Lynn. Something here about Bluetooth. I don't know. Something here about Bluetooth. Maybe somebody was trying to hack somebody's Bluetooth. They were trying to listen in on something. Someone's name could be Dean. Or somebody here could be a dean of something. Or they thought that they were the headmaster of something. Someone's name could definitely be Josh. Someone's name could be John. Someone's name could be Dorothy. Someone's name could be Sam, Samantha, Samuel. Something here about gin. Maybe somebody here drinks a lot of gin. Something here about Rue. Something here about a fuse. Maybe somebody here was trying to create electrical issues or something. We have Roe. Someone's name could be Ramona. Ramona. This person could always get lit. Maybe they like to always just be lit. Someone's name could be Gerald. Jerry. Someone's name could be Mona. Something here about wick. Isn't that like what people use to help feed their babies? Something here about REM. Maybe something here about REM sleep. Maybe somebody was trying to stop you from getting a good night's rest or not being able to access your dreams or not be able to access the dream state. Something here about New York. New York keeps coming out a lot. Something about Wisconsin. Something about a DO. I know a DO is a type of doctor. Something about maybe something about Bitcoin or something. Maybe somebody was trying to steal somebody's Bitcoin. Something about pH or a pH level. I don't know, maybe somebody was trying to screw up somebody's pH level to keep them not unbalanced. Someone's nickname could be Becca. Something about Nova. I don't know, Nova Scotia or something. Or, I don't know. Someone's name could be Tim. Something about a monsters, or I don't know. Someone's name could be Tim, Timothy. Could be Tom, Thomas. Something here about a town. Somebody felt like they ran the town, like they were the sheriff of the town, or maybe they were above the laws, or I don't know. Someone's name could be Mo. Someone's name could be Pat, Patricia, Patrick. Someone's name could be Pam, Pamela. Someone's name could be Quinn. First or last name. Someone's name could be Will, or maybe they were trying to alter a will. Something here about rain. Maybe somebody's nickname is Rain, or maybe somebody here likes the rain, or they did something in the rain. Something here about a dam. I don't know, it's like somebody was trying to stop the flow of something. They were trying to hoard something all for themselves. They were trying to change the natural order of something. Something here about a video. I don't know, maybe something here got caught on video. Maybe somebody here was doing something on video, like sexually or something. I don't know. Maybe they were secretly recording something. Something about NYS and New York schools or something? I don't know. Someone's name could be Lord. Last name could be Lord. Maybe they think that they're above the Lord. Maybe they think they are the Lord. I don't know. Something about Aldi. Maybe somebody here shops at Aldi. Or they work at Aldi. Someone's name could be Alvin. Like Alvin and the Chipmunks or something. Someone's last name could be Bolton. Someone's name could be Joy. Someone's name could be Sid. It could be their nickname. Someone's name could be Nat, Natalie, Nate, Nathan. Something here about a Roth. Isn't that like about a 401k or something? Or isn't that something about retirement accounts? A Roth IRA, I think. Something here about a Roth IRA. Somebody could use the word like homie. You're my homie or something. I don't know. Someone's name could be Mary. Something about the DEA. Somebody could be being watched by the DEA. Somebody here could be a practitioner of sorts. We have a witch here. We have somebody here who can definitely alchemize energy. Someone's name could be Drew. Something here about an inn. Like a hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Someone's name could be Grace. Somebody here did not do something alone. Somebody here did something with someone. They definitely had an accomplice. Somebody here had an accomplice. Someone's name could be Maya or Mia. Someone's name could be DJ. That could be their nickname, or somebody here could be a DJ. Someone's last name could be Wong. Something here about Fenty. Maybe somebody here wears a lot of Fenty. Or something about fentanyl, maybe. I don't know. Not wishing that upon anybody, but... Someone's name could be Paul. Paula. Something about a POV, something about somebody's point of view. Maybe somebody here caught something from the perfect point of view. Maybe somebody here did not check everything. Something about a bolt. Maybe somebody did not bolt something down properly, or they didn't attach something correctly. They didn't put something together. Maybe they were missing a couple of pieces. Somebody here could be a fan of Pokemon. Something here about Mew. Or, you know, Mew is a very rare Pokemon, so maybe you're just extremely rare, and somebody here did not want to see how rare you are and what it is that you bring to the table. There's a lot of eyes here. Somebody's... That could be one of their initials. Somebody's name could be Ian. Somebody can go by the nickname like Bex. Someone's name could be Hector. Something here about a sim. I don't know, maybe somebody here is an NPC, or they just become a product of their own simulation, I guess? I don't know. Something about the law. The law is definitely involved. Someone's name could be Brittany. Something here about Massachusetts. Someone's name could be Brittany, Brit. Something here about a goon. Maybe somebody here is just being foolish. Something here about DHT. Maybe somebody has been abusing DHT. Or they've been trying to chase a high that they're never going to get again. Something here about a jet. Somebody's name could be Jen. Jennifer. Jenny. Tis the season. Alright, that's what I have here. We're gonna close this out. Something about a bird. I don't know, maybe somebody thought that they were gonna be able to take flight with something. Excuse me. Someone's name could be Chet. Somebody here could be from Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia, I don't know. Universe, please give us an affirmation for whoever this reading is for, please. We have manifestation. If you could have anything you wanted, what would it be? Get specific and get greedy. You are holding a magic wand and you can conjure anything. Could it be that when you actually declare your wishes out loud, you're actually casting a spell for your dream to come true? Or is it just that, in a very practical sense, the more people you speak with about your desires, the more folks there are who know what you want and might have the means to help you make it happen? Be very careful who you speak your manifestations to, though. Either way, stop waiting and start manifesting, but don't use that word if you don't want to. Now that you've made a definitive choice, you know exactly what it is that you want, and it's time for you to start calling it in. Universe, please give us a final message for Sagittarius, please. Universe, please give us one final message for Sagittarius, please. Final message. Thank you. Personal transformation. 35, breaking down to an 8. Your soul is assisting you with creating changes to align with your life's purpose. Ganesha is pointing to the heavens and encouraging you to be open to new ideas and the growth of your spirit. Listen to the still small voice within. You may have been feeling a strong desire to obtain or experience again a sense of meaning, inspiration, or purpose in your life. This is likely a time in which you are making some significant adjustments in your life. These adjustments are helping you in the process of changing yourself from the old you to the new you. And you will soon benefit from a fresh perspective on life. You are in a great place now for honoring the person who you truly are or want to be, rather than simply following a routine that has little meaning to you. This is a profound spiritual journey that you are experiencing, which brings greater meaning and purpose into your life. This will renew your inner energy. Eliminate everything in your life that is not essential to your transformation. Realize that some of your activities may be in place simply to act as buffers or distractions from what is truly important. Allow the changes that are taking place and trust that a period of greater calm and stability will follow. Ganesha is calling you to your destiny. Your calls for guidance have not gone unnoticed, and you will ultimately find what you are yearning for. And that's what they didn't want. They didn't want you to switch up on them. I'm going to read from the Book of Happy for y'all. Universe, anything here for Sagittarius? Eat your favorite food. You know how happy you feel when you're eating your favorite food? That's why it's your favorite. Cook or order that one dish that just puts a smile on your face. It could be comfort food from your childhood, an exotic creation you first tasted on vacation, or even a savory palate pleaser you learned to cook when you were dating someone from another country. Happily savor every bite of that macaroon chicken tangent, New England crab cake, Midwestern meatloaf, Southern fried chicken, or whatever is your favorite. Eat your favorite food. Indulge on the things that make you happy, the things that make you you. And that is what I have for y'all, Sagittarius. I am sending you lots of love and lots of light, and I will see you next time. Ciao.